I would say the game-changing moment for when I realized they got it was when I was not talking anymore. The entire room was talking to each other about investments. Something that we don't talk about at the dinner table, something that we aren't learning in our school system. They were reading. They were asking me to slow down because they wanted to read more. They were completing the worksheets when I didn't even tell them to start the worksheets, but they knew how to do it. And for me, I felt like the program started to take a life of its own. And any doubt that I had that it couldn't work, it was for me to say, Ashley, relax, you got this. You've been doing this. Now we get to do it in person for a particular subset of people who actually probably need it the most. And they don't need you, they want you. They now know they can depend on themselves. And I think that's what I want to create. I want us to realize you can do this on your own. And we create these thoughts that allow us to think we can't do something, when if we just change the thought process, we will know we can do anything. And so for me, it was then, and then even after the class, all the emails I was getting, and they were sending me articles and not asking me questions, but giving me suggestions and saying, I can't stop reading this. And it's just like, I created something that has become a life of its own. And it's a great thing to have, particularly in our culture. But it was just exciting for me to see this project that I've been working on for countless hours with my team and long nights with my team, to see it actually come to life. And the outcomes are what I said they would be and more. For someone who's researching, I would say the important thing would be, I got this from Warren Buffett too. If you can't own a stock for 10 years, don't buy it. Because if you think about it, it's a business you're buying into. Businesses aren't going to flip your money tomorrow. It's like, who would have known that Amazon 17 years ago that only sold books would now be paying people to leave their job to start their business just so they can ship stuff to your house in a day? The same Amazon owns supermarkets. You know, like, who would have thought? But are we willing to wait 17 years? Because 17 years is essentially when you have your first child, or have a child, they're about to go to college in 17 years, you know? So that same woman you asked for money, that lady named Sally Mae, now you don't need her, you know? So having that thought process of, one, I can do it, and two, trust what you think and be confident in what you know. Because one of the things that I learned just investing, period, you don't have all the answers. You're still growing every day. Be intentional about your growth every day. But when you do it, it becomes important. So of course you may not read the financial news because you're not an investor, but the moment you do and you see how the news affects your net worth, you pay attention. So I would just say, as you do the research, don't get so caught up on all these things because you can overwhelm yourself. Just get in the game. Start with something and understand the more you do, the better you get, the more you grow. It's like riding a bike. You get better and better and better as you do it more. It's like being a parent. You get better and better and better as you grow as a person. When you have that second child, that third child, you've learned certain things. And I think we're afraid to make the mistakes. We're afraid to grow, but we're also afraid to also see how great we can be as a people. And so I think as you do the research, know the why behind the research. Know the bigger picture behind the research, but don't put energy, time into a company that you don't see yourself holding and investing in for 10 years. Because building wealth is not about a quick flip. Getting rich is having a lot of money right now, and being wealthy is having a lot of money forever, generation after generation. And if we're talking about changing the narrative in the Black community, it starts with you, but it does not end with you. And because it doesn't end with you, this is an everlasting journey that requires wealth to be created so it can be passed down, so that our children don't have to go through what we went through. We are that example. We learn the lessons so that it can be taught to the people that need us the most and generations to come. And so always having that outlook in mind when it comes to you knowing and doing the things you need to do when it comes to building wealth and that financial foundation for yourself and your family.